Hey everyone, just before this video starts, I want to give a quick shout out to Pokemon Pop who actually gave me a code card for the Reshiram Charizard GX Battle League deck. So I'm going to leave his channel down in the description, but let's get straight into this review. Hey everybody, how's it going? Nushi here, and we got another deck reviews. Right here, we got the Battle League deck for the Reshiram Charizard GX deck. Now, I'm pretty pumped for this. Not gonna lie, for those of you who don't know, I run a Reshiram Charizard deck on my online TCG. Obviously, if you come into the streams, you should know it's literally all I play with. But this is a pre-built deck with those two, and I'm kind of curious to how this is gonna go. So I'm really pumped about this deck reviews. But first of all, you know what we gotta do first. We gotta check the value of what's inside this box. Now let's go. Alright, so we're here with the League Battle deck. Now, we're going to be opening just like that. Now, when it comes to the value of it, so obviously you got your, stuff over here, which I'm going to look at first. This little poster doesn't really have that much value to it, but nonetheless, it is really cool. See, the rules right there. So, yeah, you can see the advantages to the deck if you read that, but we're not going to read that. We know little book on the rules and so forth, which it's all right, so obviously not important. What's important is everything in here, value-wise. So, as I said, we're going to be basically looking at the value of this. Now, I didn't actually check how much the code card is. Now, for the Pikachu and Zekrom, it was about $15. I can imagine this is going to be less because the other one had 4 Jirachis in it, so it's safe to assume that it'll be cheaper. Let's get rid of that. So, get the Charizard and Braixen. Beautiful, beautiful card. Conditioning is fairly good, so we are going to put this in a sleeve. Basically, I like to collect these, so yeah, I'm not really going to be using this in a deck IRL. So basically just putting this into my collection. The next Charizard and Reshiram, which is one of my favorite cards ever, obviously, as I use it. And then the third Charizard and Reshiram. Now, these combined are probably around $20, which alone is pretty good. And that's $20 USD. I didn't get to how much I paid for this, by the way, but I paid $30 Canadian for this. Now, as I said, that's 20 USD right there. What about everything else? So, obviously, you got these stuff right here, which don't really got value, but again, $20 right there alone. Now, the code card, as I said, I don't really know the value too well of it. But if I had to picture, it'd probably be $8, so $28 right there. We are $2 away from exactly breaking how much we paid for this. Now, you got to remember, cards like this Volcanion and so forth in Canadian, you could probably get most of these trainers for around $1. So, thumbs up on the value right there. It has passed. Obviously, you can't do much with the fires, but the Welder, Green's Exploration, Fire Crystal, a lot of these in Canadian would be about $1. Obviously, American, I believe, would be 30 cents. But nonetheless, $30 Canadian for this. And we would probably be looking at 35 from the cards and the code card. Somewhere around there, I would have to guess. Or just say each of these cards are $1 with not including the energies. I don't know the exact value. I just know that it is 100% worth it. And again, the code card, if I had to guess, would probably be about $8. That's a guess. So, is it a bang for your buck? Yes, big thumbs up. I would recommend purchasing this. But now, let's get on to the online portion of this review. All right, so let's just take a quick look at this Reshiram Charizard GX deck, the Battle League deck. So obviously, it's going to look relatively the same when you're comparing it from what you get in the Battle League, as it's legitimately the exact same, just in the online version. So you can see right there, you got your 4 Greens Explorations, your 2 Giant Hearths, from what you saw earlier, which will scroll back, the 2 Reshiram Charizards, the 3 Volcanions, and then the 1 promo one, the Reshiram Charizard Braixen. Oh, not Reshiram Charizard, the Charizard and Braixen, sorry. You gotta just keep scrolling here, and then this is basically what you get. It's the exact same as what you get in the Battle League deck, of course. So, the main question here is, can it beat the test deck? Now, for those of you who do not know, I do run a Reshiram Charizard deck as my main, so just by looking at this, I can probably comfortably tell you that, yes, it will beat the test deck. But we might as well still try it out. Obviously, as I said, in order for it to even be considered for a pass, it has to do it. So it has to go through the test deck. So I'll see you as we're getting closer to beating the test deck. So as you can see right here, we just quickly greens exploration because right away we're gonna win. I don't even need to really think about it right here. So right here, bang, high beat blast, and we've won. Obviously, as you can see, the prize cards they have five, or sorry, they have all six, and I won at four. So this just kind of proves how easy this is. Now, obviously, the real question here is gonna be what grade does it really get, and how good does it actually perform when it comes to real decks. Now, again, as I was saying previously, I do play with a Reshiram and Charizard deck, so I actually do have a little bit of faith when it comes to this deck. But nonetheless, let's get into the review. Alright, so now we are on to the review portion of this Battle League deck for Reshiram and Charizard. Now, for those of you who do not know, I actually use a Reshiram and Charizard for my competitive play on the online TCG. It's probably one of my favorite decks, and there's actually quite a bit that I gotta say about this deck. Like, first off, it is a lot better than the Pikachu and Zekrom one. Like, you're actually very capable of winning with this deck, but to say it's good, it is good, but compared to the other meta Reshiram and Charizard decks, it's not insanely ideal. And one of the big reasons why this deck is pretty good is because it's always, and this is for every Reshiram and Charizard deck, it's always easy to set up the Reshiram and Charizard, which is a big hitter, right? So you're able to take out a lot of Pokemon right away, and that's a big feature when it comes to Reshiram and Charizard. But the cards in it could potentially be a little better. Now, if you saw my first video, you would know that I have cards like Cinderace V, which work well with Giant Hearth, sorry, because you're able to switch into the Cinderace V, and because of its ability, you're able to switch straight back into the Reshiram and Charizard, which makes it, you can use Flare Strike repetitively and so forth. Like, there's different ways to take advantage of the Reshiram and Charizard. Now, with this deck, it just kind of feels plain and simple. Like, a very bog standard, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it just feels like there should be some more. Like, I don't know the exact word, but some more spice to it, because there's nothing special about it. Obviously, there are cards in here that you don't normally see, like the Great Potions, I believe, or the Potion cards, which let you heal 50 HP off of a GX. Like, you don't normally see that in most decks, but you do see it here. One of the other issues that I have is the Great Catcher, or the card that, you play and you flip a coin, and if you get heads, you can swap your opponent's Pokemon with one of their benched. Like, I feel like that is those are great cards, but and specifically the Great Catcher, it's more luck based than skill. And in saying that, it just doesn't feel super, super ideal, especially when you're trying to begin playing competitives. Because honestly, if you're trying with a luck based deck, then it's not really going to go super well. You're going to wind up losing because you're going to be trying to take chances that you shouldn't be. And that's why I would prefer to have something like a Boss's Order in a Reshiram and Charizard deck, just because I feel like I'd rather more safety than luck. So, in saying that, this deck does have flaws, but by any means, it is not bad. The only thing that, really pushes it forward, I'm pretty certain, and this, again, is with every single Reshiram and Charizard, is just that Reshiram and Charizard is such a big hitter that it overall doesn't fully on matter. If you're able to set it up, then you're going to be able to always have a chance to win. And that's just basically how far Reshiram and Charizard decks go, right? But if you can't manage to hold on to that extra length, because you can win a match in the first or second turn, your first or second turn, with a Reshiram and Charizard if your opponent's not properly set up, because you'll be amazingly set up. But if you can only set up like one or two of them, and this deck only has two Reshiram and Charizard cards, then you're gonna find an issue if it just kind of drags on, because you're not gonna have the cards to be able to drag forward. If your opponent has a bunch of Mono and Lanas, and yes, this deck does have Mono and Lanas, but If your opponent comes more prepared, then obviously you're going to have more of an issue. And that's the only flaw that I can really see with this deck. It just works because of how standard the Reshiram and Charizard is in competitive and how much of a big hitter it is. The other thing is obviously the Charizard and Breaks In card. Now, not every Reshiram and Charizard deck has a Charizard and Breaks In. The first time I used it, I had a little bit of questions, but obviously it's really nice. But for me, I only would use it if I didn't get a Reshiram and Charizard. And with my own proper deck, obviously I'm gonna have Quick Balls and Pokemon Communications in there to try my hardest to get the Reshiram and Charizard in the first turn as well as a Volcanion, just so I can set it up. But in here, it's a little bit more difficult. So when you get that or not the Charizard and Breaks In, it just feels so much more ideal that you're just gonna play it. But again, I would so much rather the Reshiram and Charizard. And from what I've been saying is this deck still deserves, I would say, a C plus rating because it's super easy to be able to actually pull off some victories with this deck, but it just doesn't feel like it is a proper fit. It feels like it's really nice, it feels like it's really good, but there's just ways to improve on it. But if you are starting off, I could easily recommend this deck to be able to just get your foot into the door because you'll understand right away that the Reshiram and Charizard is super capable of dealing damage and so forth. So it's super ideal to, you know, just have a deck of this in general. But honestly, after you play a handful of games with this deck, I would easily just recommend go straight back to, or not go back to, but work on a Reshiram and Charizard deck and try to make it your own and make it as best as possible so that you're able to have that step above and then you're going to be able to compete more at the competitive level. And I'm saying this as I'm not a pro by any means, but this is just kind of my opinion and this is why I'm going to give this deck a C plus because it feels good, you are able to win, but the main reason why it really does well is because the Charizard and Reshiram card is just such a big hitter that it's already hard to mess up right off the start. So the fact that it has the cards to be able to set it up, that's king. It's just I feel like it doesn't necessarily have the extra cards to be able to take you to that extra mile to make you feel like more comfortable to get those bigger wins. Now, let's get straight into the live portion of this deck reviews so you're able to see kind of what my head is thinking whilst I'm dueling. Alright, so we're here with the live portion of the Reshiram and Charizard GX deck. Now, again, I've been saying this the entire video. I play with the Reshiram and Charizard deck, but this deck is actually pretty different compared to that one. Like my main one also has like a Cinderace V in it and so forth to be able to use Flare Strike more so that I can switch from Reshiram into Charizard, and because of Cinderace V's ability with the free retreat cost when it comes to, oh my gosh, when there's a stadium in play, Cinderace V has the ability to get zero retreat cost, so obviously with the Giant Hearth in play or the Chaotic Soul, whatever is essentially in play, it's always just going to be benefiting it, and that's what I like that deck a lot more. Obviously, it plays more comfortable than this one over here. Like this deck does have some pretty good stuff in it, and it does bring like a little bit of uniqueness and stuff like that when it comes to that, but it's just not the same deck, unfortunately. So just yeah, we're in here in the live portion. Y'all get to see my live reactions and what I'm exactly thinking when I'm playing this deck. So we're going to play that Volcanion. I'm gonna play the Pokegear just to see Malo and Lana. I mean, I guess we'll take it, but oh no, I shouldn't have taken it. Yeah, I shouldn't have taken it because we're gonna Professor's Research, so we just lost a Malo and Lana. Yikes. And we don't. Okay, no, we're okay. We're going to get rid of the Professor's Research here. Do I want to go for the Charizard and Breaksin or the Reshiram and Charizard? We're going for the Charizard and Breaksin. I actually want to be able to set that up for the Brilliant Flare. Just because I know that they're going to be delayed in setting up, so I'm like, if I can get that Brilliant Flare set up, especially because of the attack, then we should really be okay. We should be able to just kind of take the lead really early on. So, oof, that lag there. Let's set up that Charizard and breaks in. 3 energies. Let's go. See what you're going to do here. Probably going to set up a Colossal, but I haven't really seen this deck too much. I'm actually a little more worried that they're going to wind up rage quitting and it's going to kind of, screw up this battle a little bit. But we're going to see how it goes. Obviously, if they rage quit really early, I'm probably just not going to show this. Like, if I win it in 2 turns, then that's fine. But if they rage quit, like here, I'm going to go straight into another duel. And then I guess you'll see 2 live duels. Nope. Okay, quick ball. Sandaconda V. Interesting. Like you said, I'm pretty certain they're going to be setting up the Colossal anyway, so just trying to see what they're going to do here. Another Fire Energy. Oh, so you can retreat. I guess because you can tank an attack. Oh, and you can Arcani into the Colossal, and then you can actually start setting up anyways. Okay. Still can't attack this turn, but I mean, no biggie really. Oh, you can attack. Oof, I thought you wouldn't have been able to. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna welder this so that we can pick up more cards. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Do I want to attack with the Volcanion? Here's what we're gonna do. Because if we can, yeah, if we get heads on here, no, we don't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attack with a Volcanion because that means the Sandaconda V should be knocked out next turn. The Charizard that breaks in wouldn't have been able to KO it in 1 turn. So that's just kind of my thought process with that. They got a Professor's Research, so that's a little iffy. But I'm like, if I would have been able to get rid of the Colossal, they may have not have been able to get an energy. Oh no. I'm not liking the looks of that, but I don't know if that's really going to come in play well right now. I mean, I could really go for a Greens Exploration here. Greens Exploration, get some Pokemon catchers in my hand right now, just to prevent, getting that Lily's Pokeball. So they're going to Quick Ball. What are they going to get? Another Sandaconda? Dedenne. Okay. So obviously they don't really have an amazing hand. Yeah, set that up even more. Okay, so I could imagine when I KO this turn, they're gonna send in the Lily's Pokeball, which is what they're planning on doing, and then they're gonna send that, and they're gonna start setting up that Sandaconda V. Yeah. Although that means I should probably, hopefully, try to get. Yeah, I think a Green's Exploration would do me beauties next turn. Absolute beauty. So even if, yeah, so we should definitely try to get that. So what else do they do? Oh, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. Big yikes. So take your 1 prize card. Turn that Embraction. What do we get? Fire Energy. Reset Stamp. I guess we'll take the Welder here. I would also really want a Fire Crystal. Okay, so we got the Reshiram and Charizard. Absolutely amazing here. We could technically Crimson Flare, but we want to get rid of the Sandaconda V. Yeah, of course. So actually, we can do this, and then do we take the 2 Great Potions so that if they attack the Charizard and breaks in? Yeah. Let's actually look. No, yeah. Yeah. So that if they attack next turn, we'll be okay. Greens Exploration. So we got the Greens Exploration anyways in case we want to change our mind. But the Reshiram and Charizard should actually be good to attack. Oh, I should have gone to Malo and Lana. A Great Potion and a Malo and Lana. Actually, no, because of the welder. Yeah, no, that's fine. Because then we would have had to switch straight back into the Charizard and breaks in anyways. That's fine. What's their gonna move? Probably go to the lilies. So yeah, so let's actually set up the greens exploration and see if we can get the custom catchers and see if we can go straight into the Sandaconda V next turn. Although, how do I don't like, it's a tough choice. Yeah. No, because then we can't welder. Uh, I guess we just gotta hope that we get a custom catcher through the welder pickups. But anyways, the Reshiram Charizard should be set up next turn anyways, and we'll be okay. Let's just see what my opponent's gonna do here. Taking sweet time, obviously trying to think of a strategy on what to do here. Literally at the same time, I'm also kind of just expecting that victory screen to pop up because I don't exactly know what their deck has in hold right now. Okay, so that's a little scary. Put it straight back into your deck, and you're going to go into the Sonicona with a Colossal. Okay. Yeah, we'll be okay. So that was actually a really good thing we got the Fire Crystal. So what do you do? Oh, ooh. So yeah, so they're gonna do more damage to me anyways, but this is like their last Anaconda that they have anyways. So it'll do, yeah, I was a little worried that it was gonna be enough to KO it, and yeah, it was. We should be able to set up the Reshiram and Charizard next turn anyway, so we'll be okay. And yeah, they actually might be able to set up another Sonic on a V if they have one, so that's not good. And then we have the welder, so thank gosh. Oh my gosh, no. So let's put in the Reshiram and Charizard here. So, okay, we gotta KO the Sandaconda. There's absolutely no way we cannot. So they're probably gonna Lily's Pokeball and try the exact same thing. I actually needed a giant Hearth in order to really be able to protect myself, and that's just not good at all. Absolutely not good at all. I really hope that they do not have another Sandaconda V, because if they do, we're looking at a not ideal situation here. Yeah, they have another one. Because they're gonna have another Colossal and they're gonna be set up and it's gonna do 280. So yeah, it's gonna be GG. Like if they have everything properly right in their hand, it's GG. They rare candy that into the Colossal right now. Nothing I can do. Although there's a slight chance they might have like an energy deficient, but I highly doubt that. And even if they did, I'd have to get super. Oh no, I have two switches, but plus they can do that. So I'm not liking the looks of this. It all depends on what they have. So I think they're trying to stall now. Then yeah, after looking at that, that's what I could picture. So switch, and then if they're not gonna go into the Sandaconda V this turn, I'm gonna go into the back into the Reshiram and Charizard. Okay. So you're gonna set the Fire Energy on Roly Poly. Ram. Okay, 50-50 chance. Alright, GG. GG. So we won there. Actually, a lot closer than what I was expecting. But yeah, anyways, so that was the live duel. Just, giving you a little bit of a heads up on how exactly I think when I'm doing a duel with these decks. But yeah, so anyways, if y'all did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment, like, rate, subscribe. Now, if you want me to review a deck that you have, whether it be, standard, expanded, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try my best to review it. Obviously, sometimes it's really hard to get a hold of hands, or not a hold of hands, a hold of cards. So it's not a guarantee that I will be able to get to your deck, but I will try my best. But yeah, so just leave me a deck down below or send it to me on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, whatever best pleases you, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Deuces!